Yeah, so I selected the On Being podcast with guest Ocean Vuong. They're an essayist, a novelist, and poet who wrote a book, but they're a very moving author, raised in America, but moved here from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. So talked a lot about their experience as a Vietnamese immigrant, family situations with their mother, and being a queer person in America. Ocean is a novelist and an essayist and a poet, so they work with words, and that was a lot of what they talked about when they talked with Krista. They talked a lot about the power of our words, and it made me think, for us as Christians, of a Bible verse from Proverbs that says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits." But there was one part in Ocean's conversation with Krista in which they talk about just that, and Vuong says,
we often tell our students, the future's in your hands.
Yeah.
But I think the future is actually in your mouth. You have to articulate the world you want to live in first.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in New England, and I heard boys talk about pleasure as conquest. I bagged her. She's in the bag. I owned it. I owned that place. I knocked it out of the park. I went in there guns blazing. Go knock 'em dead. Drop dead gorgeous. Slay. I slayed them. I slew them.
Yeah.
But one has to wonder, what is it about a culture that can only value itself through the lexicon of death?
Mm-hmm. Some people who feel a little more pragmatic say that's a waste of time, that's not what's really important, but it really is. And the more that we can curb our language, the more we catch ourselves dreaming bigger dreams of what the world can be. So something I see, I think, across Krista's work, but especially in this conversation she had with Ocean Vuong, was there's a willingness to have all of the hard and vulnerable conversations without needing to make perfect sense of it. So that's, if you listen to On Being, you know that she usually starts off asking her guests, like, what is their religious and spiritual background? And she does that not to get everyone on the same page of like, well, this is how we talk about spirituality here, but to rather stoke those deeper conversations, not to go anywhere necessarily, but to be attendant to the conversations. But I think that's what Krista does throughout On Being, throughout a lot of things, is she seeks to have honest and deep conversations, not because it's just fun to have existential conversations, but the more we're present to that, the more we dream bigger dreams of what the world can be. There's a few bits that always just replay in my mind, just about how Ocean and Krista talked about life and breath and words and how we can narrate our experiences to not erase them but be transformed by them.